his mother called him, "Tony, I give you 2 quarters, but this is not for buying ice cream. What you can use for buying ice cream, the other one is for offering." "Okay, Mom." So Tony left, and as he went to Sunday school, he played with the quarters that his mother gave to him. He throw the air and then catch again, throw and then catch again, until one time he could not catch the coin, and the coin fell in a hole and he could not take it back. And when he saw that, Tony said, "Oh, I'm sorry, God, your coin is gone." Another one is about Sunday school student. I think we can learn many things from children. As the teacher teaches about it is more blessed to give than to receive, when Sunday school students raised his hand and said, "Teacher, that is what my father has been teaching to us. And that is his philosophy of life. It is more blessed to give than to receive." Then the teacher was, "Wow, that is very good. So, by the way, what does your father do for a living?" And he answered, "Boxing." As a boxer, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Well, that is our theme for today. We will learn more about what Paul teaches on at Acts 20, verse 32 to 38. We will read Acts 20, verses 32 to 38. You ready? "Now I commit you to God and to the word of His grace, which can build you up and give you an inheritance among all those who are sanctified. I have not coveted anyone's silver or gold or clothing. You yourselves know that these hands of mine have supplied my own needs and the needs of my companions. In everything I did, I showed you that by this kind of hard work, we must help the weak, remembering the words the Lord Jesus Himself said, 'It is more blessed to give than to receive.' When He had said this, He knelt down with all of them and prayed. They all wept as they embraced Him and kissed Him. What grieved them most was His statement that they would never see His face again. Then they accompanied Him to the ship." This was Apostle Paul's last chance to meet with the elders from Ephesians. On the way to Jerusalem, Apostle Paul wanted to meet with the elders from Ephesians, where he had served them for 3 years. He knew that his time was coming soon. And it is interesting here, as he realized that there will be no more chance to teach them, to talk with them, Apostle Paul told them 2 important things that they must remember and they must do. So this is very important. Imagine that you are about to die. That means there is no more chance, another chance to talk with your children, right? So when you say something to your children, what you will say must be very important things, because that is your last message, right? And here what Apostle Paul told them to the elders of Ephesians. Somehow, what he said this was not recorded in the gospel. What Apostle Paul told the elders actually was a sayings from Jesus, but somehow the gospel didn't record that. So in verse 35, please take a look, verse 35. There are two things that Apostle Paul wanted the elders and all of us today remember and know about that. Verse 35, in everything I did, I showed you that by this kind of hard work, first we must help the weak. We must help the weak. It is God's will to help the weak. If we can, we should help the weak. And the second thing, we also must remember the words of the Lord Jesus himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. During the Bible study last time, we have discussed a lot about helping those who are weak. Today, I want to share with you the second part of verse 35. It is more blessed to give than to receive, which is said by Jesus himself. The question is, why? Why it is more blessed to give than to receive? And I want to share with you 5 reasons why it is more blessed to give than to receive. Number 1, if we can give something, that means we have something to share. And if we have something to share, that means we are blessed. So when we give something, we are in the position of the giver, not the beggar. A beggar is someone who don't have anything, who doesn't have anything, therefore he asks for something. But when we give, that means we are blessed, so that we can share God's blessing with others. Do you follow me? So it is more blessed to give. That's true. Because when we give something, that means we have something to share. Otherwise, we cannot share. Number 2, let me ask you, how does God bless us? How does God bless us? I think at least through 2 ways. First, through working, right? We have to work. We have to work hard. God will not bless us like, giving us rain, we just receive it. We don't need to do anything. No. God bless us through working. We work and then we earn money. But the second way God blesses us is through someone's giving to us. Through someone's giving to us. Remember the story about a widow in Sarafat? There was famine. Everybody suffered because of that, including Prophet Elijah. But God told Elijah, go to Sarafat. I have commanded a widow to feed you. And then Elijah went to Sarafat, and over there he was fed by a widow. We don't know the name. Just a simple woman. But God blessed Elijah through the giving of the widow. Are you following me? So, when we give something, that means God is using us to bless somebody. Oftentimes we don't realize. We thought we just give something. But remember, God is using you to bless that person. If you receive my Indonesian devotional devotion every day, there was a testimony from a young man in Indonesia. He worked hard, and finally, after a year, he could pay off the motorcycle that he just bought a year ago. So he was so happy, you know. Now I don't have to pay anymore the motorcycle. It is paid off. But what happened? When he went to church, his motorcycle was stolen. It's gone. So he was so sad. Oh God, you know, I saved every month to pay this motorcycle, but it's gone now. He was coming from simple family, you know. He was not rich. So he was so sad. So he prayed to God, God, I don't know how could I buy a motorcycle again. I don't have money anymore. But one day, his friends from church came to him and they brought money. And they said, we heard that you lost your motorcycle. And here, donation for you. So his friends quietly collected some money to help this man. And finally he could buy a new motorcycle again. So his friends were used by God to bless that man. Remember that. It is a privilege, you know. When we give something, God is using us to bless that person. Maybe that person has been praying, oh God, I don't know how to pay my son's school. Especially if you live in Indonesia, every year you have to pay for, you know, registration, and for many families, you know, it's so expensive. So I know many parents pray, you know, God, I don't know how to pay. And then somebody at church, for example, God moved his heart to help. And then he received that from that man. But that man is used by God to help that person. So it is an honor for us to give, right? The third reason why it is more blessed to give than to receive. When we give something, we also are doing God's mission. Even though we don't realize it, but when we give, we do something for God's mission. If we look at the Bible not only talks about great men and great women who did great jobs for the Lord, but also the Bible contains just regular people who were used by God to do great things. We don't know the name of the widow who helped Prophet Elijah, don't we? Do we? Yeah. And we also don't know about the little boy who was used when he shared what he had, and then something big happened. Let me ask you, do you know the name of the boy who gave his 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish? You don't know, right? But this boy is used to do God's mission. When thousands of people were hungry, apostle came to them. Who have something to share? And then Jesus will bless it. I'm sure many adults had something with them, but they didn't want to share. They thought, well, I only bring this